Just like birthdays, Independence Anniversary marks a moment of mixed feelings in the life of any nation. For Nigeria, Africa's largest democracy and economy, the path to nationhood, which began 63 years ago, is one filled with bumps, but certainly the gains recorded along the way are the grease oiling its hope for the future. I am Charles Alpha, welcoming you to Africa Weekly. Actualizing a better Nigeria that gives hope to the rest of Africa will require courage, compassion, and commitment as one indivisible unit and not by fear or hatred. In his address to commemorate Nigeria's 63th independence anniversary, President Bola Tinubu identified these as the recipes for greatness as Nigeria navigates her journey ahead.
Patriots.
First official appearance of President Bola Tinubu since his return from the UN General Assembly trip. It's on the anniversary of his country's national sovereignty, commemorating a journey continually filled with lots of patriotic sacrifices, and the sitting Nigerian leader acknowledges the efforts of the founding fathers and mothers who secured the emancipation of a nation from the shackles of colonialism and those who have propelled the unity for 63 years down the lane.
Some people have said an independent Nigeria should never have come into existence. Some have said that our country will be torn apart. They are forever mistaken. Here, our nation stands, and here we shall remain.
The nation has maintained its unity and so endured its travails, but the man in front believes a greater Nigeria still requires brave decisions and dogged determination that he said he has signed up to since inauguration. Some attendant hardship on the citizens of it. The president says that is a necessary momentary sacrifice toward a better future, and so to ameliorate the consequential effect on the people, President Tinubu says the interventions are on the way, including the release of CNG-powered buses to ease transportation.
Based upon our talks with labor, business, and other stakeholders, we are introducing a provisional wage award increment to enhance the federal minimum wage without causing undue inflation. For the next 6 months, the average low-grade worker shall receive an additional 25,000 naira per month.
He also enumerated other policies and programs aimed at improving the economy, which include tax reforms, inauguration of a new leadership for the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the Infrastructure Development Initiative in collaboration with state governments.
States have already received funds to provide relief packages against the impact of rising food and other prices.
The president also acknowledges the roles of partners in driving governance, including the national legislature and judiciary, as well as labor unions and civil society organizations.
At 63, Nigeria's greatest gift to West Africa is her strong and supportive leadership to the sub-region. President of ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Umar Aliyu Tare, emphasized this at an event to commemorate Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary in Abuja, Nigeria.
Security, economic growth, and democracy are ideas crucial for the mandate of ECOWAS, and none of these will be possible without Nigeria's sterling leadership role in the sub-region. So, at a time when the country is celebrating her 63rd independence anniversary, it offers an opportunity for the ECOWAS Commission President to show gratitude to a benevolent country whose people have carried the banner of Africa's greatness around the world.
If you look at our capacity to move freely within the region, in the context of free movement of people, you will recognize the leadership of Nigeria. The same thing goes for good governance, the same thing goes for regional trade, despite the fact that we have a long way to go.
Every single country in the region look up to Nigeria as an example.
Put together by the Nigerian community in ECOWAS Commission, the event was one to show bond of unity, pride, and offer prayers for the nation's prosperity as it continues to weather the storm regardless of the challenge.
With me now in the studio to discuss this important issue is a governance and policy analyst, Major General Victor Ezeugu, retired. I want to say thank you very much for coming on Africa Weekly, General.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
All right, now to begin with, Nigeria is 63. Can you give us your perspective on our journey to nationhood?
Nigeria has come a very long way among the Committee of Nations. We got our independence in 1st October 1960, and from 1960 till date, we had our first republic, we had a military intervention in politics, and we also soared back to democracy in 1999, and presently we're having the 4th executive regime of democracy after each 8 years. And so far so good. I think we have every hope to believe that all is well with our country. We are marching towards nationhood. The journey is not yet uhuru for us, but I must say that foundation has been laid for a very, very great Nigeria. And I want to commend the previous leaders, the forefathers of Nigeria, up to the present regime, for the effort they have made to make Nigeria one of the largest economy in Africa. Naturally, Nigerians are very, very hardworking people, so we've worked our way into, economic growth. Militarily, we've done very well. And also, in terms of nation building, I think our journey so far is very commendable. And I must say I'm proud to be a Nigerian. I'm happy to be a Nigerian. And I wish Nigeria well as we march towards greater heights in the future.
Okay, so you listened to the president's speech on October 1, and what stood out for you, when he spoke about, the measures and efforts he is taking to tackle security challenges and better the economy?
Yes, the president's speech is inspiring in some aspects and also requires some, push in other aspects. The tax regime which this government is initiating is quite good and impressive. Nigerians were not very good in paying tax. Companies will evade taxes, and without a very good tax regime, we cannot progress economically. So I'm quite pleased that the effort of this government is making to make sure that we have a regime that can be beneficial to the people of Nigeria. Then also in poverty alleviation, I'm quite pleased with the effort they are making to pull out over 15 million Nigerians out of poverty. That will be very good. I'm equally happy with the effort we are making towards, making sure that our national resources, our natural resources are well harvested for the benefit of Nigerians. So it gives me hope that with all these efforts in place, if Nigerians can give support to the government of the day, we are going to get to a station where things will begin to flourish well for us as a nation. Like everybody says, the policies are very painful at the beginning. I'm also of the view that when we march into maybe the next 1-2 years or so, things will definitely start getting better. And I urge all Nigerians to support the government to make sure that we will deliver on the mandate of the renewed hope of the present government. I'm also inspired by the security arrangements made. First and foremost, let me commend the choice of the military architectural leadership in Nigeria. From the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.G. Musa, to the service chiefs, I think round pegs has been picked and placed in round holes. And I'm quite sure that with the synergy that the military is having with police and other security agencies, I'm sure that things are going to get better in terms of security. Okay. So I think, by and large, I'm quite impressed with the plans of the government to make Nigeria better.
Okay, so now, General, you talked about support, and I'm going to be asking, at 63, what should we be doing? In what way do you think Nigerian can offer support? In what way do you think we can, stand up and do things that will give hope to, or the president rather, will give hope to Nigerians, those that are watching, to say that, look, we are on the right track?
Yeah, the first thing I want to urge Nigerians is that we have several elements of national power. Good governance is one of it. Economy, international relations or diplomacy, the military power, the natural resources. These are all things that must be galvanized to place Nigeria in world map in such a way that people will begin to respect this nation. So we have a lot of security challenges in the country. And one of the first rules to national development is that the country must be secured. So I think what I will urge Nigerians to do is to support the military totally, to be able to own this fight we are fighting against our adversaries and be able to deliver good results for the military. For instance, if bandits are crossing the country with arms and ammunition vehicles, and nobody is informing the military about this movement until they bump into the military, ambush them and attack them, and then we'll start reporting casualties, I think something is fundamentally wrong somewhere. So I believe that Nigerians should own the fight we are fighting against our adversaries, so that the military and the security agencies will give us a very good, secure Nigeria. And once Nigeria is secured, like everybody knows, prosperity, development, and poverty will be a thing of the past. So that is one angle of it. Okay. Number two is that the economic policies of the government need to trickle down in such a way that the masses of Nigeria will breathe some fresh air in their life. Okay. And I'm glad when I heard that the negotiation between the government and Labour has led to increase the minimum wage to cushion the effects. They're planning to revive our refineries. They are planning also to get buses, gas buses that will help to move people from one point to the other so that they can spend less, workers can spend less. I'm also happy and encouraged that Nigerians should seize the opportunity that this present government is giving by dialoguing with the labor, organized private sector, and everybody that are aggrieved. That is one of the hallmarks of democracy. We must keep talking. So I'm happy that the government of the day is not shutting its doors to negotiations. So, and I want Nigerians to also, wherever we can make a sacrifice, let us all do it so that Nigeria will be great.
Well, very much, governance and policy analysts. I want to say thank you very much, Major General Victor Ezeugwu, retired, for finding time to share your thoughts with us on Nigeria at 63. Thank you so much for coming on the program, Africa Weekly.
It's my pleasure, and thank you to NTA.
All right, thank you so much. We now take you to Gambia, where President Adama Barrow and African Development Bank Group head Dr. Akinwumi Adesina have pledged to work together to boost rice production and invest in the country's vibrant youth and women entrepreneurs. Local production currently meets less than 20% of the demand for rice, which is the Gambia's staple food.
The African Development Bank Group is supporting the country's efforts to produce 200,000 additional tons of paddy rice by 2028, reducing imports to zero. President Barrow said on the first day of Adesina's two-day official visit to the Gambia that the Russian-Ukrainian war presents an opportunity for Africa to solve the problem of food security, adding that Gambia should commercialize her rice production to produce enough rice for the people. In addition to support for women and youth entrepreneurship in a country where around 65% of the population is under the age of 25, Barrow also identified infrastructure, particularly road construction, as a critical area for the African Development Bank's support. This makes it one of the country's preferred development partners.
Since we've been supporting Gambia, we've done about our $504 million of support to Gambia. And currently our support to Gambia is quite significant. It's about $282 million. And it covers different sectors. It covers energy, it covers infrastructure, it covers agriculture, it covers governance, it covers water and sanitation, and also youth and women's support.
In our livestock development and essential development in agricultural growth is still at the rudimentary stage. Application of new technology is thought to be showing promising in advancing this sector. So we take on the Managing Director of Livestock Genetic Africa, Emmanuel Noko, who will now share his ideas with us. The issues. What I say, thank you very much for coming on Africa Weekly, Mr. Emmanuel Noko.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now can you give us your perspective on the state of livestock developments in Africa and Nigeria in particular?
As you may know, that livestock create employment and give an income, and in every country they want to develop and their livestock, and Nigeria is not left behind. Nigeria has a master plan to have to develop their livestock, and they are working towards that, and that is why it is very necessary that at least at this stage that the world is growing through genetic development and crossbreeding of animals, that Nigeria can be able to follow up to be able to develop their livestock, especially in the area of dairy and beef section.
Okay, so can you explain what is artificial insemination in livestock and what are the benefits, to those who are into that kind of business and Nigeria as a whole? You talked about dairy and beef. Can you expatiate and tell us what is this artificial insemination in livestock all about?
Artificial insemination is by bringing out semen from a selected bulls, from different kind of bulls, from different countries. And as you may know, Nigeria have the large cycle of cattle, but in this area, they are not much profitable when it comes in terms of dairy, because when it comes to dairy, the cows has to produce enough milk for the country, and in the area of beef, and that is why it is quite necessary that when you use artificial insemination, the farmer can able to choose the right bull, so that will able to give him enough milk and enough protein, and in the area of beef, enough beef. So there's a lot of animals, and especially from other countries, that have developed their livestock and by using AI. And that is the most genetical way of increasing your yield and increasing the livestock in every country. And that's why it is quite necessary that if Nigeria can able to begin to engage by using AI to able to develop their livestock, it will be able to help them in a very big way. But we could not even by using especially you can use farm bull, but the most easiest way to increase the livestock is by using AI and using artificial insemination, and that is the most way most farmers are using today to develop their flocks, to develop their herds, and it has a very big benefit. The benefit is that you, as a farmer, you can choose the right bull that will be able to give you the right milk for longevity, for good calving and calf survival. So those are areas that when you choose the right bull, it can be able to help you in your farm.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you so much for expatiating on that. But again, your organization is committed to this application. Do we have enough semen for livestock development as it is right now in Nigeria?
Yes, because Livestock Genetic Africa is a representative of Viking Genetics from Denmark. And Viking Genetics is owned by 4 Nordic countries, Finland, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. So they produce enough semen. And when it comes to their semen are very active because Viking Genetics operate in more than 50 countries in the world. And their major market is US, and in their home market, which is Denmark, they are Viking semen are very, very profitable, and they are very agile. And that is why it is very necessary that when we came into Nigeria, Viking semen has proven to be very, very, because a lot of farmers have used it, and they have already proven that, yes, that Viking semen are very, very good. And there's enough semen for even if we want to develop the livestock in Nigeria.
Okay, so now how are you using this now to assist government improve livestock production in Nigeria?
Yes, the area we can able to use to help is by when we partner with the government, because we know that Nigeria has a master plan to develop the livestock in order to end this farmers and farmers. And that's why when we came in, we want to help by developing the livestock, by creating, when we inseminate in the ranches, by helping the government, when they create a ranch, we can able to inseminate, to able to make sure that, because the farmer, what the farmer wants is profit. He wants to increase the head. That is the most important of a farmer. And when it comes to that very issue, for the farmer to have to get that profit and maximum profits is by increasing his heads, by getting profit. And you can only get profit when you have a cow which can able to produce enough milk, and you will able to have a calf that you can able to produce the cow that will able to survive both in every area. So that is why we want to partner with the government, both in the state government, in order to develop the livestock in Nigeria. And Viking is committed in doing that by using their semen to do either by pure breeding or crossbreeding. And when it means crossbreeding, they're able to crossbreed with our local cats like Fulani Gudale and the Bokolo, which are the most prominent, the one we are using today to be able to develop exotic breed in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Emmanuel Noko, the Managing Director, Livestock Genetic Africa. I want to say thank you for your enlightenment there on this particular AI development in livestock development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. And that's our package this week on Africa Weekly. Thanks for watching. I am Charles Alpha.